we've talked about dividing and decimals. We can divide decimals by whole numbers or decimals by decimals. Let's talk about how to do both. For example, in class, we talked about the problem 84 hundredths divided by 3. What I need to do is I need to rewrite this first as a division problem. The first number is my dividend, so that goes in the house. So 84 hundredths is going to go inside. The divisor, 3, is going to go outside. From here, how I divide a whole number is, first thing I would do is I'm going to need to bring my decimal point up straight up top. So you bring it straight up to your quotient. From here, I'm going to pretend like the decimal's not even there anymore. I'm going to forget all about the decimal. I'm going to divide just like I would in any other problem. 3 can go into 0, 0 times. 3 can go into 8 twice, so I put down my 2. After I divide, I'm going to multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. I'm going to subtract my 6, and I get a 4. From there, I need to then bring down my 4. 3 can go into 24 8 times. 3 times 8 is 24. Since I got a 0, I know I'm now done with my problem. Had I not gotten a 0 there, again, what I would do is I'd add zeros behind the end and bring those down until I end up with a 0 as my answer. We are not going to have remainders anymore. But in this problem, since I did end up with 0, I don't need to add any of those extra numbers. Let's practice now with a decimal number. So it's going to be the same with just a couple of differences. Let's say I have 4.82, and I want to divide that by 0.5. I'm going to start the same way as before. I'm going to rewrite the problem with my division box. So my first number is my dividend, so it goes in the box. My second number is my divisor, so it's going to go outside of the box. On here, I have 0.5. I can't divide by 0.5, so what I need to do is I need to change that to a whole number. To do so, I'm going to take my decimal point, I'm going to move it over one time, because when I move it over once, that makes it into a whole number. So now my number outside the house, my divisor became a 5. To keep everything fair and equal, I need to do the same thing to my dividend. So I'm going to take my decimal point and move it over one time to my right as well. So now I have my problem of 5 goes into 48.2. I'm going to, just like before, bring my decimal point up to the top. So I'm going to put the decimal point right on the top. So from here, now I'm going to divide just like I did on the last slide. So what I'm going to do is 5 into 4. That can happen, so I put a 0. 5 into 48. 5 can go to 48 9 times. 5 times 9 is going to be 45. When I do my subtraction, I get 3. Bring down my 2. 5 goes into 32 6 times. 5 times 6 is 30. When I subtract, I get a 2. I'm not going to have a remainder in my problems. Now I'm dividing my decimals, I'm going to keep my problem going. To do so, I can always add zeros to the back. I'm going to add a 0 behind it and bring that straight down. 5 goes into 20 4 times. 5 times 4 is going to be 20. When I subtract, I get my answer of 0. Now that I got a 0 for my remainder and I have no more numbers, now I know my problem is done. So my quotient is going to be 9 and 64 hundredths. That's how I divide by both decimals and by whole numbers.